Hello all, I am Marisela Juarez and I am representing the Finance 120 StockTrak team, number 9, with Daniel Gonzalez and Miguel Moreno. I will now take you on the journey of our first investing experience using StockTrak. We hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as we enjoyed investing. StockTrak is an online mock investment program that allows people to get their feet wet before diving into the stock market. StockTrak gives future investors the ability to learn the stock market by applying real-life aspects of investing. Every group or member is given $100,000 of available cash to use to start investing. From there, you purchase, sell, and trade securities like stocks and mutual funds. Within our group, we were somewhat familiar with the stock market. However, we knew that our knowledge and familiarity in this area was only minimal. Our group wanted to be able to take risks, but also make sure that we wouldn't make devastating decisions. This led us to choose a middle-of-the-road philosophy. This philosophy would allow us to invest in companies that we were familiar with. We also wanted to keep a close eye on ratios and use formulas to measure risks and returns. A strong factor in this project was also the fact that the market reacts to the news. Our team chose to consider this in all investments that we made. Our main goal in our project was to at least break even and be profitable in our investments. We also wanted to stay in the top 100 of our rankings and have at least a 5% return on our portfolio. We hoped that these goals would motivate our team to make smart decisions for our investment portfolio and eventually lead every person in our group to become a profitable investor. Some of the first stocks we decided to invest in were Apple, Sony, and Coca-Cola. We all owned Apple products and we anticipated the release of the new iPhone in the upcoming month. This was also the case with Sony. We looked forward to the stock growing because it had the PlayStation 4 being released soon. Coca-Cola seemed like a stable investment, and because football season was just beginning, we knew sales drinks would rise because of gatherings and functions for games. Some more stocks that we purchased throughout our project were GM, Netflix, Facebook, and Hershey's. We liked GM because it was competing with Tesla, a very profitable stock at the time, and thought it would be smart to invest in a motor company. Facebook was the most relevant and popular social network site, and research showed us it was very profitable. We chose Netflix because we were all users and knew that it would only grow. Research had also shown us that Netflix was planning to expand into overseas, and we knew this meant good things. Hershey seemed like a smart investment because Halloween and the holidays were right around the corner, and our research had shown us the candy industry boomed during these times. Our final weeks, we chose to change things up a bit by purchasing stock in the healthcare sector with Tenet Healthcare. We also purchased 3M Company because our research had shown us that it was being recognized for growing tremendously at the time and that it was expected to have outstanding growth through the fourth quarter. We also purchased Amazon, anticipating the holidays increasing online shopping. All of us were also Amazon consumers and we enjoyed investing in companies that we had actual experience with. We invested in 2 stocks that were very profitable to us pretty late in the trading period. These stocks were Tesla and Google. This gave us an opportunity to look back and recognize some of our bad decisions throughout the project. Investing in profitable stocks too late was definitely one of those bad decisions. We also felt that although we chose our philosophy in the beginning of the trading period, we veered from it several times. We ended up being more conservative and purchasing low volumes of stock. We would usually purchase around 25 to 75 shares of each stock at one time. We realized that in order for our stock to give us a higher return, we needed to have a higher volume of it. We also started trading and selling stock too late in the project. Tesla was one of the stocks that even though we invested in late, we kept very good track of. Tesla was the stock that we sold and bought the most. Every time we would hear bad news, we would purchase more or sell when there was good news and it was at a high price. Our team thinks that selling and trading is what led to Tesla giving us one of our higher returns. It's not only important to focus on buying new stock, but also keeping very good track of it and selling and trading at the correct times. Our most profitable stocks ended up being Apple, Tesla, and Netflix. These 3 companies gave us the highest return. These stocks were a mix of electronic and technology, a motor company, and an online movie provider for entertainment. Throughout our project, we held NASDAQ and Standard & Poor's 500 as our benchmarks. These market indexes helped compare and contrast our current investments and gave us a good idea of how they were matching up. These graphs compare our team's portfolio returns with the benchmarks that we set up, which were S&P 500 and NASDAQ. As you can see, our investment return grew a lot during the last few weeks of our trading period. This was a good sign for our team. It showed us that even though we didn't reach our goals in the end, we still improved throughout the project. Just like we had our best stocks, we had our worst picks also. These were Tenet Healthcare, Sony, and Amazon. These stocks gave us the lowest returns. We feel that we invested too much in Tenet Healthcare and didn't have enough time to let it grow. We invested in 500 shares of it because we were trying to creep away from being too conservative. However, 500 might have been a little too risky. We held on to Sony for the whole investment period, thinking the release of the PlayStation 4 would boost it, but it never happened. We also never saw the boost in sales that we anticipated from Amazon. Here is our team's ending portfolio summary. As you can see, we ended up at 133 in the rankings with a return of almost 4%. At the end of our project, we were not too far off from our initial goals at all. Our portfolio value ended at $103,986.30, which meant we were profitable in our investments. StockTrak was a great experience for our team. It refined our skills in working within a group and allowed us to gain a better understanding of the stock market in whole. We learned the basics of investing and were able to make smarter decisions as the weeks went by doing research and using formulas and ratios for stock evaluations. The fact that we were able to experience this without losing any real money was a definite plus. With gaining this new investing knowledge, we all felt like investing would be a definite possibility for the future. So if you're interested in investing without the risk of losing any real money, we definitely recommend